Well, we got 1 minute. I started at 9 according to my watch. Did you go to that rack on Saturday? Yeah, it's 8:59. Go ahead, Clay. Clint. Okay.
Not me. We seen here.
Yeah, we should have stove in.
Careful.
I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Jackson County Board of County Commissioners for September 7th. This is a budget hearing meeting. We're going to be discussing several items. If you would please stand for the prayer and the pledge. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity that you provide to us. We thank you that you have allowed us to be born and raised in the greatest state and country in the world. Lord, we pray that you will look over us as we do this meeting, give us wisdom, give us guidance, so that we make decisions that will benefit the citizens of our county. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We have a special meeting that's scheduled to go at 9:15, but due to the fact that it's 9 o'clock, we're going to deviate a little. Ms. Willan, have you got any additions to the agenda?
I do not.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Got a motion by Commissioner Pate, second by Commissioner Hill. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. We're going to skip down and let Mr. Stakowitz, if you would, give us a briefing on this program that you want to change or do something out at Road and Bridge.
Yes, sir. So it actually covers more
Page
departments.
17 in your agenda packet.
So this is a proposal for additional modules for our iWork platform. Currently, we're using iWork at community development for applications and permits and also code enforcement. So this software platform also provides for a public works option, fleet management, facilities management, and also Rhett would like to see a module for animal control. So the benefits of this is it adds us all onto one system so that all of our users are accessing the same data. We've run into some problems with PubWorks in that installation that we put out there where we're not getting exactly what they sold us. So when users have a tough time putting in road requests and things like that, and we went over a demo, Rhett and myself, of iWork, and this works phenomenally better. And again, the other benefit is it puts us on the same platform countywide for a lot of different services. So currently we have these modules for community development. We're paying $25,500 yearly for the permitting, applications, and code enforcement. And we're looking to add additional modules for those other departments I described. And that'll be at $30,550 would be the added annual cost for that. Now, if we went with this platform, this would eliminate our need for PubWorks and Facility Dude, which is what AJ uses at maintenance to manage service requests and keep up with inventory assets, all that stuff for maintenance. And the total cost for those two are $15,882.59. So we could eliminate those two softwares by incorporating them into iWork.
We're looking at roughly about a $15,000 increase to go to the pub work, or to go away from pub works and go to the iWork.
Correct. So it'd be 14,667.41 would be what we're looking for to move everything over with those deletions of pub works and facility dues.
And these would be annual cost
Correct.
each
So
year.
yes. So this is a cloud managed service, so a software as a service, so you pay for it yearly.
Okay.
Also added
And
into
you already using iWorks, right?
correct that community development. We use it for applications, permitting, and code enforcement.
So now, I know y'all were using PubWorks and you said that would work. You sure this is going to work?
Yes, so when we ran over the demo, when PubWorks initially demoed the software for us, it worked differently in the demos than what we're being able to see. So when we try to put in service requests from a citizen standpoint, it's more convoluted and just there's a lot of developmental bugs and problems that they promised they would work out that they're not working out.
And you said this would tie all the departments together.
This would be an enterprise grade solution. So everyone in the county, those departments that I listed would all be on the same. So they would all access the same GIS data. They would all have the same access to the same pool of data through one portal. And then we separate it out as to what people can see, right? We obviously community development users would only see their data. But for example, it has good integration because our fire marshal is able to get in community development side and complete permits that are sent to him once it gets to his side because he has access to the same data. So it just makes our processes a lot simpler because everybody, once they get to a point in the process, he gets an email that it's his turn to come in and do this thing. He knocks out his side of the permit, they move forward. So it's better just to keep us all in the same system so we can progress.
This is going to give where citizens can submit a request or a complaint. Or
Correct.
whatever, and the commissioners will see it, road and bridge, everybody, this will tie into what we've been talking about, more user friendly and to let everybody know what's going on the road or their, if they call in about grading, I'll see it, road and bridge will see it, and then the supervisor will see it, and then when it's finished, we can tell it's finished.
Correct. So from a user friendliness standpoint, it's 10 times better than PubWorks ever wanted to be. It's so much easier on the eye and easier for the citizen, but also on our backside. So the users working for it in the office, this is a much more simplified solution with more expansive reporting modules. So we'll be able to keep up with status of events as they change. So every note that's put in, you guys will be, but we'll definitely have logins for you guys. And the cool thing about it being cloud-based, you can get to it from anywhere. So it has a Windows application and a mobile app.
I think that'll be better for the citizens to see what's going on about their call that they made first of the week,
Definitely.
where they're at.
And that's been our big thing, is to try to cut down on phone calls so that they're being updated as the status changes, right? Instead of them having to come back and check on it manually because all they're seeing is an open or closed or pending or whatever else. We want to have very descriptive status changes so that they're kept abreast of what's going on.
So Joey, as far as accessing that, we'd be able to access it on our county phone.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
How quick do you think that'll be online if we move forward with this today?
Well, we will have a data migration that we'll need to do out of PubWorks. A lot of these other modules are built from scratch. Facility Dude will be another migration, but I can't imagine more than a couple months maximum to get all that data migrated over and stand the new system up.
Will there need to be any training with the Public Works Department as far as how to use that?
Definitely.
Will that be inter-house training, or will they come down and do that?
It's as much training as we want. We just reach out to them, and they're very good about community development, and the building department can certainly attest to that. You give them a call, they'll walk you through anything you need.
And all that's included in their annual.
Correct. And they've waived implementation fees, so that's nice. And yes, the training is included.
Joey, so we get this. And 2 months down the road, it's not working. Now what? Are we stuck paying?
Well, this is a year by year. So if we find that it's not meeting our expectations, we can certainly reevaluate next year. But based off the demos that we've seen and the success that we've had at community development and the building department with their modules that they have for it, I don't foresee us having the same problems that we have with PubWorks. PubWorks just moved to a cloud solution, so they're really kind of new into that space. And we just found that what they demoed for us is not how it's working in practicality, right? So just based off of our experience with community development and all them, I think that they're very happy with it. And if they can incorporate those same features into fleet maintenance and public works, animal control, facilities management, I think we'll be very happy.
All of them.
Any other question? Danielle?
So I know it was time to pay the facility dude and if you've already submitted something for PubWorks to upgrade, but will those be refunded to us?
We're certainly going to reach out to PubWorks, and because we're so early on, yes, both of those were paid. But we're going to reach back out, and because there were things that were promised from their side that we're not seeing from them, we're certainly going to reach out and dispute that. From facility dude, not so much, because it is what it is. We're just trying to move away from that for next budget year to help pay for, because we get away from that platform and roll that money into this.
So do you have a contract with them?
With PubWorks, it's because these are software as a service, they're year by year.
Okay.
I'll offer a motion that we approve the implementation of iWork at Road and Bridge Animal Control and Facilities Management.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Donifro, second by Commissioner McKinney. Any more questions? Hearing none. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you,
Make
guys.
it work.
Yes, sir. I'll do my utmost.
Okay. Ms. Willan, we got about 3 minutes.
I think we can do this item in the next 3 minutes. The next item on your list is page 33 in your book, and it is board review and approval of River Road emergency repair. I do wish Rhett was available for this one, and I believe, tell me if I'm wrong, but Commissioner Peacock, is this one you've been involved with? Or is this
Well, I'm very familiar with it, but it's actually,
And so this was,
since
to my
it's a
understanding,
problem, it's in Commissioner Hill's district.
Yeah, definitely.
It's on the line.
so it's my understanding this was caused by beaver damage. And so Rhett did receive a quote from Missy Mossy in the amount of $158,856.70. And so this is for board consideration to declare an emergency to do this repair.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Pate, you have a question?
Second for discussion.
Okay, second by Commissioner Pate.
Is this, are we good with the bond? Does this have to be bonded? Okay. I didn't know.
The problem, I think we discussed this earlier, but the beavers have tunneled under that road. Now, I thought they were trying to get to the water on the other side, but Travis says, no, there's no water over there. The biologist thinks they're storing food. But to the point that the road is,
You didn't talk to them and tell them to move it?
what you don't want me talking to them.
No.
So, but they're going to try to, I think I saw something that they're going to put some wire down, some rock and everything to keep them from digging in there. But they got all kind of burrows under that road.
Probably not gonna be the only spot either.
Yeah, so I don't know how we deal with them.
Where will these funds come from?
Road and bridge construction, right? Yeah. Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Did you vote? 5-0. All right. All right, let's go into public hearing. I think it's 9:15 somewhere. We're in public hearing. We are here to discuss the implementation of an additional 5-cent gas tax.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, go ahead.
if you don't mind, I just wanted to briefly share with the board, really sort of separate from the fuel tax item, but just that I think it's important for you all to be briefed that where we stand in the budget is if the millage rate is left the same at 7.445 and no gas tax is implemented, we are in a deficit of $860.
I would. Okay, I guess we have to read the ordinance. I was just going to read it and then we will have,
And just the title.
yeah. So you got the title, William?
Page 73.
What page is it on?
73.
I do. I'll be glad to read it.
Go ahead.
Okay, an ordinance of the Board of County Commissioners of Jackson County, Florida, levying and imposing the ELMS 5-cent local option fuel tax on every gallon of motor fuel sold within the county at a rate of 5 cents per gallon as authorized under section 336.0251B Florida statutes, creating a new section 94-53 of the County Code of Ordinances entitled ELMS 5-cent fuel tax, providing legislative findings, providing for distribution of the ELMS 5-cent fuel tax proceeds to the county and eligible municipalities, amending section 9452C of the code related to the distribution of proceeds from the 9-cent local option fuel tax, providing for notice to the Department of Revenue, providing for codification, severability, and an effective date.
Okay. Do we have anyone in the room that is for or against? If you do, if you're here for or against, raise your hand. I see one person, General Hart. Come forward, state your name.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
Good
sir.
morning, and I appreciate the members of the county commission holding this hearing so that we could express our opinion on the proposed 5 cents a gallon local option gasoline tax. My name is Jim Hart. I'm a 4th generation native of Jackson County. I was born in Greenwood 85 years ago. I now live on my grandfather's homestead, and if you count my great grandson as part of the extra generations, it's now 7. My roots run deep, and I love my county, and I want it to prosper. However, I don't think adding a 5 cents a gallon gasoline tax is going to add prosperity, and I'm against increasing the tax for several reasons, and I'll cover those in a few minutes. But first, I'd like to ask a rhetorical question. If you, Mr. Chairman, other members of the county commission, and even members of the audience actually know how much tax is currently being paid on each gallon of gasoline bought in Jackson County. I don't expect you to answer. It's rhetorical.
I got the number, sir, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'll, for the record, state that today, federal, state, and local taxes combined with state fees total 54.1 cents per gallon on every gallon of gasoline that's sold in Jackson County. That's correct, 54.1 cents per gallon. And here's the breakdown. 18.4 cents a gallon in federal taxes. State and Florida taxes, including 6 cents already imposed in local taxes that you recently renewed for another 30 years, which is in effect reimposing a 6 cents a gallon local tax. 35.7 cents per gallon as spelled out in the Florida Tax Information Publication number 20B0502 with rates effective January 1st, 2021. And by the way, there are increases every year in the state gasoline tax, as well as what's referred to as the sets tax, which is an additional 8 cents a gallon, based on the increase in the cost of living. Federal, state, and local taxes currently total 51 cents a gallon, as I said, and don't you think that's enough? If you add an additional 5 cents a gallon, the total will then be 59.1 cents per gallon, and that amounts to a 19.7% sales tax on every gallon of gasoline purchased in Jackson County. For comparison, the current total tax rate per gallon in Alabama is 42.4 cents. In Georgia, it's 46.3 cents. If you go to Alabama today, the difference in a gallon of gasoline is roughly 24 cents. Gasoline costs $2.75 in Alabama or less versus $2.99 per gallon in Mariana currently. With that information as background, I respectfully ask each of you to reject consideration of any further increase in the tax on gasoline for the following reasons. First, as I've already said, gasoline's taxed enough already. No other commodity so widely used and so essential in daily life is taxed as much as gasoline. 2, middle and lower income citizens will feel the increase more because many drive long distances to their workplace or to attend college at Chipola or FSU, or to go to Dothan for medical reasons or to shop, to name just a few. You will, by increasing the tax on gasoline, be encouraging Jackson County citizens who go to Dothan for various reasons to fill up their tanks with significantly cheaper priced gasoline. When they're in Dothan to shop at Sam's or to go see their doctor, and many of them do, I'll bet most of them will buy a tank of gasoline while they're there. When they do, Jackson County loses not only the 5 cents that you're talking about increasing, but the other state and local taxes, and each gallon purchased in Alabama or Georgia takes away 35.7 cents in current state and local taxes that won't come to Jackson County or to the state of Florida. Number 4, some argue that tourists or out-of-county visitors will be paying these taxes and that they will in fact be helping to build and maintain our roads. And while that's true, they will be paying taxes only on their gasoline that they put in their automobiles. I'd ask, when was the last time a visitor or a tourist paid for the taxes on your gasoline? Here in Jackson County, we're fortunate to have 4 Republican members of the county commission. It's no accident that the majority of registered voters in Jackson County are Republicans. They believe in the 5 Republican principles of freedom and liberty. They are: 1, smaller government and less regulation; 2, the federalist system of local government being in charge; 3, fiscal conservatism and lower taxes; 4, a strong national defense; 5, individual liberties and responsibilities. I want to focus on number 3, fiscal conservatism and lower taxes. Gasoline is taxed enough. At $3 per gallon, a tax rate of 59.1 cents amounts to almost a 20% sales tax. Let's keep it where it is today and vote down the 5 cents a gallon proposed increase. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Are there any questions? General, I do have one. The federal taxes that are collected, how much of it comes back to Jackson County? Do you know?
I don't, but it is sent through the state. For example, when there's maintenance work done on the interstate, the state pays 10%, the federal government pays 90%.
Right.
And when there's new construction, there are different ratios, but federal taxes do come back. And in most cases, I can't testify with any certainty that it's true in the state of Florida. But I know in some of the other states like Alabama and Georgia, every year they get more back in federal taxes than is paid by their citizens.
I think Florida is doing pretty good in getting money back from the federal government, but there are states that are lagging way behind.
That's true.
They're turning in a lot more federal taxes than they get back. And you're right, it looks like that all that they take is basically put on the interstate.
Right.
So we're not getting a lot back from the federal
Well, I'm
government.
old enough to remember when the U.S. tax on gasoline was 4 cents a gallon. 2 cents was dedicated to pay the $25 billion required to build the interstate defense system. The state of Florida at that time had a tax of 7 cents a gallon. That was the same in Alabama. Georgia was 6 3/4.
Mr. Pike,
General Hart,
Yes, sir.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but you brought up the Republican Party.
Well, and I appreciate everything you've done to get those registered voters.
But I do want to say, this board, well, we have 2 new commissioners on here, but this board has worked real hard to keep taxes down. Your avalorum, we have not went up on avalorum. I'm talking, I think when me and Eric come in, we were at 7.90. And where are we now? But I looked it up a while ago, 7.90 and our first budget that we were responsible for. And now we're down to, if we keep it the same, okay. So, we've worked hard at that. Now this, at some point, and I keep saying some point, but it's about to that point, we got to do something. We have kept things down. We've rolled back, and our avalorum taxes, which we all know that only 30-something% pay avalorum taxes. So I kind of look at this as a user fee, user tax. But maybe I asked how would we, well, we've discussed this. I know some of the ways we can do it.
Well, I'll be happy to answer your question.
Yeah.
Go ahead and ask.
What is your suggestion?
I suggest that you put the
I know you were
avalorum
saying
tax at the rate it used to be, because the citizens accepted it at that rate. If you are going to pick out a particular commodity that is so essential, people who work out of this county, people who have to go to the doctor in Tallahassee or Dothan or Panama City, they're the ones that are going to pay it. Sure, 5 cents a gallon is not that
$1
much.
tank of gas. Yes.
5 cents a gallon is not that much. It doesn't add that much to a tank of gas. But you have to look at what the total is already. It's disproportionately taxed. There's a roughly 20% sales tax on gasoline already. And it just seems inappropriate and unfair. And did you know that you can't, I'm sure you do know, because I'm sure you've had legal counsel advise you. That's the reason that you're not proposing an increase on diesel. You can't increase the local tax on diesel. You know why?
Federal law.
No, it's a state law. Yes. And the reason it's a state law is because the Trucking Association knows that interstate trucks that buy gasoline at the truck stops in this county are not damaging the roads. But what about those diesel-driven log trucks that go by my house at 90 miles an hour when the roads are dry and I have to clean the inside of my house more often, and they do more damage to the roads? Why don't you get the state legislature to allow you to put the tax on diesel fuel?
Thank you, General.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Is there anyone else who has comments or want to